Ajita. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. We got the full crew in the house, except Matt, but he's here in spirit.
Always.
What's going on, fellas?
Dude, not much, man. Happy Thursday.
And it's
Thursday.
draft day.
And we got Mike on the couch over there. Oh, fumbling.
Let's go, big
Let's go.
E-T-S. Jets. So much to go over. Obviously, we have to recap the Yankees from last night, but it's
Yeah, what'd you do last
day.
night, Barnes?
I was at the game.
Oh.
But Tony, there's a sequence of things here. Obviously, it was a great time, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's draft time, baby, in the world of the National Football League.
Juju Smith-Schuster is blown up. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins.
Do not stand up with that man and let him just throw you out of the club.
On its way. It bounces off the crossbar, and it's good. Oh, my goodness.
All right. So as our tradition has become, it's half day. We're doing a mock, and in the format here, we're going to go top 5, and then the Jets and the Giants, other first-round picks, which come at 7 and 10. And we'll each kind of give our prediction on a pick. Or you want to do the Jets, or do you want to do the other ones too, Michael?
No, I'll just stick with the Jets.
Okay.
I'm all Jets.
So me and Tony are going to do
This is
the
our
other picks.
season.
Yeah. So let's just get right to it, honestly. Tony, you want to go first or no? Or do you want me to go first?
Tony, what are you, a Jets or Giants fan this year?
I'm a Giants fan.
Jets
All
fan.
right.
It was Zach Wilson, the rise, right? I mean, come on.
I'm
Law of averages.
I'm a Sam Darnold fan, actually.
You're still going after that. But let's get Tony
Sam
on the
Darnold
clock.
sucks.
I want Tony on the clock. The Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
Do it.
Tony, who are you taking with the first pick
All right, dude.
in the NFL draft?
Do I do the noise first?
Yes.
Oh, Mace is still playing, huh? Jacksonville Jaguars select Travon Walker.
Odds-on favorite. Hard to argue.
Gotta
with
go
it.
with that,
The
dude.
pass rusher out of Georgia. The numbers weren't there, but it's all potential. A little bit of a risk coming over here at first overall. But it's just everybody loves the potential. So, with a pass rusher, with a guy who maybe can get you 20 sacks, you're going to take a chance with that. And obviously, Jacksonville, having the worst record in the league last year, they need help rushing the quarterback. So that's why they would do that there. If you wouldn't mind for my first overall selection, Tony, cue it up. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travon Walker, defensive end, Georgia. Didn't mean to copy you, bud. But I
Jaguars.
know that's what's happening.
It's got to happen, dude.
And it's listen, if it was me, I would go Aiden Hutchinson. But I know that's where they want to go. You don't get all this buzz, for someone and then change at the last second and then go back to the original guy. Been watching these drafts for too long. That is what's going to happen, Tony. Who do you have with the number two overall selection?
Oh, it's so funny. The Detroit Lions select Aiden Hutchinson. So it's funny because you just mentioned him.
Defensive end.
Oh, yeah.
Michigan.
Dude. Michigan.
Comes home to Detroit.
Big body.
Obviously Detroit last year struggled rushing the passer.
Mhm.
And Dan Campbell, the intense coach that he is, he's talking about cracking kneecaps. What better to get a pass rusher like Aiden Hutchinson? He's going to give it his full effort, and that's what makes him himself. It's not about raw ability. It's just about effort and production, and that's what Aiden Hutchinson brings. So I think that's a great pick. for the Detroit Lions. Michael Kelly says, for me, I'm picking Ahmad Gardner, also known as Sauce. But if you wouldn't mind queuing me up for my second selection in the NFL draft. The Detroit Lions select Evan Neal, offensive lineman, Alabama. We know Alabama churns out these offensive linemen. It's really all, NFL draft prospects, but he's a dominant run blocker, 6'8". He gives you size, and I think Detroit is really going to make an emphasis of running the football this season to kind of not put it all in Jared Goff's hands. And I'm sure they're going to pick someone later in this draft to develop a quarterback as well. So you want to have a good offensive line, and that's what Evan Neal brings. So a little bit of a surprise, obviously everyone makes the link in terms of, having Aiden Hutchinson come home, but I say the Lions go with Evan Neal as the second selection. Tony, who do you have going third
Pick
overall?
Number 3, dude, the Texans.
Yeah.
Almost forgot to do it on that one. I have the Texans taking Ike Ekwonu.
Offensive tackle, NC State. Texans, obviously all these teams that are up in the top of the draft, you don't have a solid offensive line if you're picking at the top of the draft. I mean, more than likely, obviously, you could have traded into the pick and whatnot. But I think that's a home run pick, for the Texans. Obviously, in my draft, I would have Hutchinson on the board. So maybe they would think about picking him, but with him off the board in your draft, Tony, I think that's a great pick. 6'4", though, so he's a little smaller than what you get with Evan Neal, but an aggressive run blocker. And I think you just want that physicality at the offensive line position. So unequivocally, Tony, cue up the soundbite now.
Okay.
Unequivocally.
That's a great pick for them. But for me, with the third overall selection in the NFL draft, the Houston Texans selects Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State.
Wow, dude.
So this really catches everyone by surprise here. You're thinking, geez, Hutchinson's on the board. You could go with Ekwonu, but you know what? The Texans, there's no buzz. You want to talk about no buzz? I mean, they trade away Deshaun Watson now. I mean, you have Brandon Cooks, your wide receiver. You're trying to develop Davis Mills, and I think you just want to get him a target. And I think Garrett Wilson, being the top wide receiver in the draft, this is a situation where they go need over the big board, and that's why they select Garrett Wilson. Now for a first local flavor in the NFL draft, and Michael is going to be joining us for this one. But we'll start with you, Tony. Who do you have going for?
The number 4 overall pick, the New York Jets select Sauce Gardner,
cornerback.
Yes,
Cincinnati. We saw him on the national stage playing in the national semifinal against Alabama. Lockdown corner. I mean, I guess if you want to think about comparisons, you think about how you could send him all over the field like a Darrelle Revis. So that's why the Jets would be attracted to taking him, and he has the size at 6'3". Best press man cornerback in this class. So definitely a quality selection for the Jets. And Robert Saleh obviously really wants to build this defense, and that would be a tremendous step forward. But let's bring in Michael here with the 4th overall pick. Tony, if you would.
New York Jets. They select Aiden Hutchinson.
Wow.
Absolutely love it.
Recently has been falling as of late in the last 24 hours. His draft stock has been falling. I know Barnes knows, baby. The Jets are going to sneak in. He's going to be the steal of the draft for us. And he's going to be like Abraham was when they picked Pennington, Abraham that year. They were cornerstones for the next 10 years. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. The pass rusher they've been searching for. And you want to just talk about tremendous value. A guy all off season projected to be the number 1 overall selection. Yep. You sit there at 4. You don't trade up. He's right there. There's a reason why he was a consensus number 1 overall pick for this long. Excellent selection by the Jets.
Wow.
But with my 4th overall selection, the New York Jets selects Not copying Michael, but Aiden Hutchinson.
Wow.
If he's there, there's no way the Jets are passing up on him at 4. You're set on the edge on that left side for the next 15 seasons. Excellent selection. You take him out of Michigan, a big program. And I think that he's an instant, hero in terms of New York Jets fans. And he might top the jersey sales by the time next season's over.
Wow.
And I'm calling it right now. 15 sacks as a rookie, bursting onto the seed to the surprising wild card berth in the NFL playoffs for your New York Jets. Love it at 4. So that's how the Jets get started in this draft. And now at number 5, Tony, the New York Giants selects
Charles Cross, Mississippi State, offensive line. Get him in there, dude. Feel a little comfy. You got Jones obviously on the fritz, but dude, I feel like he's gonna be a good pick for them, protecting Jones in what we'll see in an uptick season for him.
Charles Cross, you're talking about a 2-year starter at Mississippi State, 6'5", 307. He's still developing as a pass blocker, but he's good. He's good against the run. And listen, for years and years and years, the Giants, the line. I mean, we've been having this conversation for 10 years. So the Giants fill a need here in your mock, Tony, going with Charles Cross. And I think it's hard to argue with that selection. And let's see what I got, Tony. If you would, cue me up for the Giants pick. With the 5th overall pick, the New York Giants select Ikem Ekwonu from NC State. So another guy, value. Both New York teams getting value here. 6'4". I broke him down when Tony selected him for the Texans. And, this is a home run for the Giants. This is what they need, bringing size and physicality to that offensive line. So you see kind of a changing of the guard. You get Judge out. You get Gettleman out. You get people from Buffalo where they've had success developing players. And that's what Joe Shane and Brian Dable bring. Excellent selection for the New York Giants.
For Barnes.
And now we're actually going to skip ahead one pick here. Carolina's at 6. We're going to go local at 7 with the New York Giants. Tony, if you would.
Oh, so sorry, dude. For the Giants' next pick, I have them taking Thibodeau.
Kevon Thibodeau, the defensive end out of Oregon, another value play at 7 here. And for Thibodeau to be available at 7, I think that's a home run for the Giants. You think about a pass rusher off the edge, and you think about a guy, once again, just like Hutchinson, before Hutchinson became the number 1 consensus pick for a while, Thibodeau was thought of to be that. And, he has an explosive first step, to get into the backfield. And, he's fast. He's 6'4", 254. So you think about an athletic pass rusher. So you combine Cross on your offensive line and you put Thibodeau off the edge on your defensive line. An absolute home run for the Giants. That's what we call building of the trenches. And now for the Giants' 7th overall pick, from my point of view, Tony, with the 7th overall pick in the NFL draft, the New York Giants select.
You want to do it again, dude? I'll do it again.
I'm just kind of getting you riled up. Sauce Gardner from
dude.
Cincinnati. None of the mocks have them taking him, but him being available here, we talk about value. We talk about, just all the premium wide receivers that we have, in the National Football League, and you want somebody that's going to, cover people. So obviously if the Jets don't take him, the Giants will take him, and another great value pick for the Giants at 7. But now it's time for our last mock draft pick here at number 10, Tony. The New York Jets selects
Garrett Wilson.
Wow. Falling to 10. I had him obviously going a lot higher to the Texans at 3.
Right.
Big play threat, 6 foot. So that's just the only thing there. The Jets obviously have some smaller receivers when you're thinking about Berrios and, you're thinking about Elijah Moore, the draft selection last year. But I think it's not all about just size. It's about, big play threat. And I think that's what Garrett Wilson brings. And I'm looking on here, actually, Matt Miller, who works for ESPN.com. His comparison is Robert Woods. So obviously the Jets would welcome that with the 10th overall pick. But next we go to Michael for the Jets' second first round pick.
I've been waiting for this. With the 10th pick in this NFL draft, the New York Jets trade it to the San Francisco 49ers, baby. Deebo Samuel's coming. Solidify the receiving position.
Mic drop moment. Tony, instant reaction, 10 minutes go on Samuel.
I don't know, dude. I don't think it's going to happen.
That's what everybody thinks, so it's going to happen.
We're not talking about it happening or not. We're talking about, what the impact would be, how he would fit, would it work, that type of thing.
Oh, I think it would work. And, I mean, just look at Mike's face when he was talking about it. I think it'll definitely rile Jets fans.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Do I think they can utilize their pick by picking someone in the draft rather than trading it up?
He's still so young, and he's already there.
That's the thing.
Let's just do it. And
That's
then Zach, it's all perfect.
Right. It's established. I mean, I would love it. I hope it happens. Obviously we haven't heard, too much chatter in terms of, a deal getting done, and, we're coming up to it with the draft, I guess, tipping off at 7 in Vegas. So hopefully that happens. But obviously we will see. And Tony, if you would, one more time for the Jets' 10th overall selection. With the 10th overall pick, the New York Jets select Drake London, wide receiver, USC. And
Debo?
You want to talk about big body receiver, 6'4", 219, an elite red zone target. And I think this is what the Jets need. It's a security blanket for Zach Wilson in the red zone. And I think we haven't really had this since Brandon Marshall was in town. So I welcome this selection. Obviously, getting Deebo Samuel, can you argue if it's just for that 10th pick? And I know you have to pay him $25 to $30 million. I would take Deebo over Drake just because of what we talked about, that he's a known commodity, especially the fact that he can, run some reverses out of the backfield. However, if that is not in the cards, I think Drake London is going to be another big jersey seller. And you look at what the Jets do, Hutchinson in London. If they get that haul, I will be ecstatic, and that will be the start to the run to a Super Bowl for the first time, Tony, since the 1960s. Let's go, Michael. Are you ready?
We're going to the parade.
We are going to the parade. Tony is going to be at the top of the float.
He's gonna be up there with Zach, and he's gonna say, "I'm sorry, Zach.
I was a Sam Darnold fan. I'm going to be honest, but I love you, man."
Yeah, you're the best. You really proved me wrong. Now I'm a Jets fan.
That sounds pretty dope. Honestly.
If they win the Super Bowl this year, can you admit that you'll be a Jets fan?
No.
What? You're not even a Giants fan.
But I feel also, were you ever really that tight about the Jets, or is it more about just kind of rubbing?
He just likes, our feathers. Yeah, totally our feathers.
No, I'm really not that tight about the Jets, I suppose. But I really don't care that much, honestly.
Yeah, well, if they win, can you start caring?
I guess, but I want to be that guy.
Does he this is him saying,
you
I
can
don't
call
like
it
the
now.
Bruins.
You could just say it now. You're
gonna no. It has nothing to do with the Bruins, Barnes.
You could just say you'll root for them this season, and if they win, you'll convert.
I'll root for them, sure, dude.
But if they win a Super Bowl, you're telling me you wouldn't convert? That's so weird, right, Barnes?
Yeah, right.
If you're gonna root for them and then they win,
yeah. What
do you see how that looks though? If they win the Super Bowl,
Matthew says muchachos.
If they win the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden I'm a Jets fan, I'm going to be that guy. It's they won the Super Bowl, and then now you're a Jets fan, you're chief. Dude.
But I know you said your interest, I guess, is
just
limited.
do with what Barnes did.
But then, so hypothetically speaking, if the Giants make a turnaround this year and somehow sneak into the playoffs, are you going to be excited?
Yeah, I'll be excited. Technically, I'm a Giants fan. I don't follow football that much, but I don't know, dude.
Matthew says,
Michael with the Jets hoodie. Let's go.
Let's go. The Jets are about
it's not
to
a hoodie, though.
Matthew, I just have to.
There is a hood.
I just have to ask you here, who do you want the most with that 4th overall selection? Love to hear your input there. But yeah, it's going to be fun. And I think really, too, you think about it, how many times are we ever going to have a mock draft where there's no quarterbacks going? I mean, this is
It's crazy.
There is some buzz.
It was just crazy.
Of Pickett going at 6 to Carolina. Obviously, they're in desperation mode. Matt Rule probably going to get fired unless somehow they're able to have a 500 season or they have just some stability at the quarterback position. Do you think at 6, Tony, they go Pickett or no?
Yeah.
So Darnold basically hold your clipboard.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Realistically, yeah, dude.
But you would want to see
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, play him out. Let's go.
Wow, that's interesting. Does Baker Mayfield get traded tonight?
I don't think so.
You think they're holding on to him to start when Watson's suspended? He's gonna be so pissed. It's gonna be so dramatic.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think they're excited about it. But I can't wait. Obviously we'll recap it here, but big night for your New York Jets. The path to another Super Bowl begins tonight, Tony. But now let's switch gears here to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, not where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
And real quick, Matt Gabriel is probably the sauce.
Wow, he's going with the
Revis
marinara
part 2.
sauce. Revis part 2. I mean,
The marinara sauce.
I kind of did allude to that. No two ways about it, Tony. But yes, on to baseball.
But yes.
And obviously, just recapping because we didn't get to go over 2 nights ago.
What's been going on with the Yankees, dude? I'm kind of confused.
Yankees have won. Tony? Is it 5 in a row or 6 in a row?
I think it's 5, isn't it?
Let's just double check this. But obviously a lot of talk, about the bats, and then here we go. We had an off day on Monday, but Sunday, of course, we talked about how they put up 10 against Cleveland, and then how about Tony on Tuesday against Baltimore? Anthony Rizzo, Tony, 3 home runs, first time in his career. Just that lefty swing looking so prevalent in Yankee Stadium. Judge homering on his 30th birthday. So obviously a special shout out to him. But they put up 12 runs, defeating the Orioles 12-8. So back-to-back games with 10-plus runs. I mean, this is the offense that we've been looking for. Am I wrong?
Yes. No, I think you're totally right. And, you mentioned Anthony Rizzo. I've talked about him numerous times when even the Yankees picked him up last year. I mean, just phenomenal man. Love Anthony Rizzo. Great guy. Obviously a phenomenal bat. Lefties, exactly what the Yankees need. A great first baseman to boot. And the Yankees are on an uptick here. I mean, certainly there's some things to work on, but we saw Cole's last outing as well. He kind of seems like he's kind of found himself a little bit more now, which is great, obviously, because they certainly need it. And the Yankees are just playing some great fundamental baseball. You have some young guys. You have Felifa playing really well.
Yes.
Aaron Hicks playing really well. And again, you even saw Joey Gallo get a couple dingers the past couple of days, which is good to see. But yeah, dude, I mean, you kind of expect this, honestly, from the Yankees. There was definitely a lot of pressure on them coming into the season for how much they were striking out, how poorly they were playing. And, a little bit rattled, it seemed, when they started. But I mean, now they're starting to kind of find their stride here.
Yeah. I mean, you really, can't argue with that. And, of course, like I said, back games, with the 10-plus runs, but also, I mean, pitching once again has been tremendous. Severino had a perfect game going into the 5th inning. Obviously, ended up losing it, giving up a 3-run homer, and then, an inherited runner scored when Clay Holmes entered the game. So technically ended up giving up 4 runs over 6. But listen, I mean, it was a great start. Obviously, when you have a no-hitter or a perfect game going through half a game, you have your stuff. He just made a mistake or two, but that's all right. Sevy looks dialed in. Are you impressed with the way he looks to start? Did you expect him to make this much of an impact here in April?
Honestly, no, not at all. I was expecting him to have a pretty slow start to the season, but it seems like right away to hit the ground running. And again, you'll have to see that because it seems like the bullpen is a little bit of a question. I feel like at this point, they've made some mistakes. Chad Green, even with Holmes as well. I think they could definitely do better, I feel. But again, I mean, when you're scoring 8-10 runs, I mean, it's not a huge deal.
I'm a little confused. I mean, I get Green,
Right.
obviously, serving it up, and I guess you could, point to Loizaga. But everyone else, I feel, has been lights out. And you mentioned Clay Holmes, 0.93 ERA to start this season, over 9 2/3 innings. And then how about this? So his 4 years in Pittsburgh, okay, we're talking over 119 innings. We want to talk about the magic of Matt Blake. Guess what his ERA was in Pittsburgh? 4 years.
Over the course of 4 years?
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it, like a 4?
557. Okay. And with the Yankees, came over at the deadline last year, and then the early part of this year, 143.
Yeah, but I feel like in like higher pressure situations, he kind of crumbles a little bit.
When?
Well, I mean, obviously,
as he got the save last night. By the
no,
way.
yeah, I understand.
Higher pressure.
Right. Well, again, I mean, dude, like how much pressure did he really have last night?
I mean, it's a save situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Barnes is in the building on top of it.
Oh my God. But still, I feel like sometimes, I'm watching him pitch. I feel like there's a few pitches, not a lot for sure, but I mean, there's a few of them that he's kind of like, struggle with a little bit of location. And I feel like better teams would harp on that. I feel like he has stuff to work on, dude. I'm telling you. I don't think he's been that challenged this season to be like, oh my God, like,
I have to say I'm appalled, Tony.
Come on.
And I know
dude.
that'll probably be another soundbite, but I honestly think he's the best reliever on the team. In all seriousness, I really do. Because I think he has more control than Chapman, and I love his sinker. I feel like a sinker is just such a dominant pitch to have because it induces ground balls,
right?
It keeps the ball, from rising and obviously, exiting the ballpark. And you look at, since he's been on the Yankees, so it's been 37 innings, he's only let up 2 home runs. So obviously he's not prone to the long ball. So I don't know. I think
there's better relievers on the team. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he's been challenged. Hey, listen, if he comes in against a good team, high pressure situation, and he does well, I'll think differently about it.
All right. Well, we'll see, over the course of the season, obviously when they play the powerhouses of the AL East and, the rest of the league. So I mean, Chapman ends up coming in, walking a guy with 2 outs, of course, but not a save situation, but they end up closing out for a 12-8 victory, on Tuesday. And then we had last night, of course, me in attendance, Tony, my first game of the season. It was great. There in left field, just in the second row, so very close to the action. Unfortunately, no home run balls. But just a great spot to watch a game. And, before the game, they've done a really good job in terms of the atmosphere in the neighborhood. We went to both Stan's and Billy's.
That's awesome.
Been there with Matthew, a bunch of times. And he would agree with me, too. I think Stan's is the place just because it's smaller. It's more compact. So Billy's is very spread out like a club. You know what I mean? It's just, it's nice, the patio, but Stan's is definitely the place for sure. So that was a great time. Unequivocally a great time. But at the end of the day, going to a game, seeing a 5-2 victory, seeing Stanton hitting a first inning home run, seeing Joey Gallo homer for his second consecutive game.
Where are we on Gallo, dude?
Gallo, he's got a ways to go, because
you still want to get rid of him? Bench him.
Honestly, Tony,
still bench him.
I need to see consistently that it can be as sad as this sounds.
Well, you give him the chance now.
A 200 hitter.
You're giving him a chance? Keep him in the lineup?
I mean, I don't really like to. I mean, right now Hicks is on paternity leave. But honestly, I would prefer to bring up Florial or Andujar, who took his roster spot. I'd love to see him. I hope Andujar gets a start today, with the 1 o'clock game, but we'll see. Like I said, even if 40 home runs comes at the expense of 240 strikeouts and a 165 average, I'm all set. But if he's going to start an uptick in contact and continue his high walk rate that we've seen in the past, he'll be able to get by, but he's got to step it up in terms of contact. And then, you look at the rest of the lineup, Judge had 2 hits, Stanton, the home run and another single as well. So 8 hits, 5 runs, a 5-2 victory. Jordan Montgomery 1 out short of a quality start, 5 2/3, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, no walks. Michael King, Tony, again.
Yes, best reliever on the team.
I mean, it's hard to argue at this point. 0.69 ERA this season, 2 1/3 scoreless for the win. And then your guy, Clay Holmes, a clean 9th, 1, 2, and 3, including that strikeout to end the game. 2 strikeouts overall as his ERA sits at 0.93. gets his second save of the season. So you want to talk about a big spot, 2 saves already, and he's not even the closer. So just something to keep an eye out for. And I get it. It's Baltimore, it's that. But at the same time, I think the Yankees either got swept or lost 2 out of 3 early in the season last year to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, listen, man, like they're taking care of business in a better way, a bigger way, I think, to start this season. And I don't think anybody could argue with that.
No, you cannot at all. I mean, dude, it's night and day at this point. Like you said, they would. Like, I feel like last season they would have gotten swept by Baltimore here. They didn't do too well in their first years against Baltimore. I feel like they didn't play like phenomenal baseball against Detroit, even though they came away with some W's. But I think now, like, again, Baltimore's a team where you should kind of smash upon, and they did.
Yeah. So it's, they got the matinee today, 1 o'clock. Tyone, getting the nod, I think, against Tyler Wells.
I think
if
so.
I'm not mistaken. So that's a 105 game, and then it's on to Kansas City for
Bruce Zimmerman.
Oh yeah, Bruce Zimmerman. Wells was last night. That's my bad. Who started well, but obviously not a great pitcher. Tyone's looked pretty good. So you really just want to get a second consecutive sweep, and then you go to the Midwest. We'll see what happens, but and we'll make our picks in a sec, Tony. But if you could just give me a synopsis, New York Mets over the last couple of days, give me something.
Well, I guess the good thing, really before yesterday, they had like the lowest ERA of their starting rotation in the entire league. I forget what it was at. I think it was like a 1 or 2-1 or something like that. Even with Trevor Williams, the couple bad starts he had. I mean, you look at them, and again, you talk about a team who you talk about night and day. I mean, I feel like, last season, although they would have these kind of hot starts to start off the season, I feel like they would fizz out by now, or even just, get some kind of garbage-ish wins. You're looking at a team right now that's playing like a whole team. Lindor really doing well, dude. It's just phenomenal. You saw even yesterday, you can talk about Nito hitting really well, their backup catcher. That's great to kind of have him behind the plate. Although you'd like to see him a little bit work on some defensive skills. He had a pass ball yesterday. But regardless, dude, this is a phenomenal New York Met team. Between Scherzer and Bassett and McGill looking like a breakout star this year. Struggling with obviously DeGrom's injury and to kind of, I guess, see what happens. I think Walker's getting the start on Sunday, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude. But regardless, I mean, you would imagine, Walker, bursitis is going to be an ongoing issue all season with him probably. DeGrom is still kind of a question mark in terms of when he will return. But for the rest of the guys in the rotation to pick up their slack, I mean, it's enlightening is what it is, dude. Love to see it. But yeah, unfortunately, last night was not really one of these bright spots for a starting pitcher. Talk about Carrasco a little bit. What?
Cookie
Carrasco on the mound here against Steven Matz.
No. The reason I was cracking up is because it's like, I don't know, just the way you said Matz. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Sorry, we continue, Tony.
Right away, the Mets like pounce on Matz. Looking great, dude. Obviously, they've faced Matz numerous times with him, past couple of years, having him on the Mets as well. They kind of know his stuff at this point. And although he's a great pitcher, they were hitting really well. McNeil was hitting really well. Escobar, Lindor, Alonso. But then I want to say it was the 4th inning. Carrasco kind of blew up a little bit. I don't know, dude. I mean, his first outing I think it was against the Giants. Which is first start, absolutely lightning stuff. You saw him last year, obviously, forget the injury, his small amount of time on the mound. He used his fastball a lot. His location was way off, and he got blown up. I feel like every time, totally unreliable. But this season, you saw his first start against the Giants. You saw him go to his breaking balls a lot. He has a nice slider, a nice curveball. His fastball usage went down maybe to 15%, honestly, which is really good because he was kind of making those adjustments because his velocity really isn't high. Again, when your locations on your fastball isn't there, it's nice to kind of see him make that adjustment to go to his off-speed pitches. And that's how he did really well against the Giants. And I mean, obviously the Cardinals have some good hitters with McNeil and Arenado, and they were just kind of keying on those off-speed pitches. I guess it took them kind of to the 4th inning to get that timing down. And then you saw Carrasco not really sure what to do. It wasn't even necessary. I feel like, I don't know, maybe a lot of his, a lot of his pitches were in the middle of the strike zone. It seemed like he was missing his mark a few times. And then what did he do when they were hitting his off-speed pitch? He went to his fastball. And, I mean, you just saw Arenado just absolutely clobber one because his fastball just really isn't there right now, which is a shame. And so he gets taken out. He went 3 2/3. Yeah. And then, Reed Foley comes in. They gave up another run regardless. But after that inning, you just saw the Mets kind of crumble a little bit. This was probably the first time where they had like a lot of pressure put on them. They had a 4-1 lead, right? Getting pretty much taken away in an inning. You saw Nito had a pass ball that actually brought in a run to give the Cardinals the lead. So, Nito obviously not as defensively sound as McCann. So that's kind of what the trade-off you're kind of looking at right there between the two of them. And then that next inning when they're up at bat, I mean, they were shook is what it was, dude. You saw Kana try to stretch a single into a double, get thrown out at second. I think you saw Nito too try to stretch a double into a triple, thrown out at third. And it's like, dude, like, first of all, it was like the 5th inning or the 6th inning, whatever it was. Like you have some time still to make up those runs. But then they just kind of got too nervous, it seemed, they had like this sense of haste, which kind of caused them to make mistakes up around the base. And there was just no coming back from that, dude. So I think that's kind of what caused that loss last night.
Did you feel almost too, it was like, I don't know, law of averages in a way, the fact that they were 1 pitch away from losing the previous night, rally for those 5 runs.
Right.
And then this one, it's like, oh, well, that's kind of baseball or.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, obviously things like that will happen where a pitcher gets lit up and it puts more pressure on the offense, which, like you said, that is baseball. I mean, it happens in games, but it's just a matter of, kind of just taking a deep breath, dude. There was no reason to stretch those doubles or singles to get an extra base. Like you had time. You could have had runners in position. And I think that inning with no one on base, I think Lindor hit like a ball off the outfield wall. So it's like you could have probably scored 2 right there if you had men on base,
Yeah. Yeah. So unfortunately, they don't get the sweep, but I think you have to be happy to take 2 out of the 3 on the road, place in St. Louis. They got some nice fan interest there. And, it's always been not an easy place to play for sure.
And then you got to talk about the benches being cleared, dude.
Yeah. What happened? Arenado.
So, Arenado was like being, I think,
you're tight at Arenado.
He's being a little prissy about
you take
it,
him
honestly.
on the Mets, though, at the same time.
Well, yeah, probably. But still, dude, like, first of all,
probably.
All right. Second of all, this has been kind of an ongoing thing. Mets have been hit 19 times this season.
But why? Is it Lindor? Do people not like Lindor?
But it's not even just that, like, Lindor's getting hit. Like, it's everyone,
But
though.
it, like, I don't know. Is that the root of it, though?
I don't think so. I honestly really couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's people don't like Cohen, people don't like Buck or something, but it doesn't make any sense.
But you think also that it's why it happens is because it starts out not intentional, but the way the Mets react, makes the thing carry on, and then it turns into something out of nothing.
I don't think so, dude. I mean, because look at how they react, dude. Alonso's been hitting the face once. He's been hitting the helmet twice, actually.
Yeah.
Got hit in the head twice so far. And what did he do that second time? He walked to first base. He could have charged the mound. Like, he could have been pissed. I mean, he's like clearly pissed about it, but he could have, made a scene out of it. He didn't. It's like the Mets are reacting negatively to these things. And, some people are saying, oh, like the Mets kind of lean into these pitches to get hit. But it's like, dude, like Alonso hit in the head twice, bro. Like, it's not like he's leaning into this.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's really weird. I'm really not sure, honestly, how or why these batters are getting hit. Real quick, my mom. Good morning, fellas. Morning, Mom. Thursday morning. She's off today. I think you guys should have announced the draft. Very exciting. Nice sound effects. Oh, like maybe she wanted like a we're gonna do the draft today thing. Wow.
No. She's saying.
I think you guys should have it now. Oh, she's saying we should announce the actual draft
coverage.
Oh, I see. Thanks, Mom.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely pumped for that.
But yeah, it should be interesting to see kind of, I guess, what happens. These next upcoming games with Mets still getting hit again. It's not even necessarily. I mean, it's all teams. It's not even just like the Cardinals were hitting the Mets. It's been all season so far. So it's I don't know. I'm really not sure why. I really don't know why.
I mean, and then a series against Philadelphia. I mean, what are the odds? There's no beanballs in that one.
I know, dude. But yeah. So you saw in the 9th inning, Lopez kind of high and tight balled Arenado.
Yeah,
and it was, dude. First of all, like. Obviously, the tensions were pretty high with the Mets already getting hit and everything. But, like, dude, like this ball was like, I think it was closer to being a strike than hitting Arenado in the face.
Wow.
Like it was high and tight for sure.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't that.
clearly like just got away from him. Like he's trying to hit high and tight and got a little away from him. Like no worries. And Arenado got pretty pissed about it. And you saw benches cleared, bullpens cleared. There was a fire in the field and everything. And of course, it's not a good look for the Mets because they're obviously they're down by 5 runs at this point. Arenado gets thrown out, but it's a shame. I don't think Lopez was going for Arenado. I really don't.
No,
I really don't, dude. But
somehow,
obviously Arenado thought so.
They find themselves in the middle of it.
I know.
So it'll be interesting to see off day today. Maybe cooler heads prevail.
Right.
And of course, you have to be happy with the start. And of course, the biggest question mark really is just when DeGrom's going to come back, as well as, is the offense sustainable?
Right.
With the likes of the guys that they have out there. So time will tell. But I think, like I said, the off day is good. But we got a bunch of afternoon baseball today.
Yeah, see what we got today, dude.
So which has been a trend on Thursdays this year. So really, actually, after 4:00, there's only 2 games. So a lot of day action. What do you got with your first selection, Tony?
Wow, dude.
By the way, you're 42-22. I'm 40-24 after your perfect 4-0 day the other day. I went 2-2. So now I am 2 back, but
still neck and neck, dude.
Neck and neck.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't think anything of it, Barnes. Don't get so down on yourself.
I try.
All right, let's see what we got today. Honestly, I'm really tempted to go with the Orioles.
Do it, dude. I dare you.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Orioles. I think Bruce Zimmerman, pitched 15 innings this season.
Does he pitch against the Yankees?
16 Ks.
He might have actually had to start.
Giving up only 1 home run. I was gonna say, did he?
I have to
Let's see.
check that out.
1 start against the Yankees, went
Probably
5
1.
innings,
No runs.
no earned runs, giving him 4 hits, 6 Ks.
Law of averages. The guy's getting popped. But what's your fantasy score for the Orioles victory?
My fantasy score?
No, meaning like the made up score that's not going to happen. What do you think it is?
Let's see. The Yankees announced their lineup here. Mayu, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton at DH, Donaldson at third. Castro at center field. Give me let's get Baltimore. Give me like a 4-1 lead. I'm thinking Yankees not gonna be able to have much offense against Zimmerman. Tyone maybe makes a couple mistakes, nothing crazy though. I mean, obviously, he still is a good pitcher. But yeah, what I say, 4-1?
Okay.
4-1 for Baltimore today.
4-1. Probably something along the lines of the opposite, flipped around Yankees 4-1. But these last games of the series, especially before a road trip, are tough. So hopefully they get the job done, but I think it'll be entertaining. That one, 105, of course, on the Yes Network. I'm going to actually go with one of the first games of the day here. Give me the Brewers over the Pirates. You got Freddie Peralta on the hill from Milwaukee, one of their better pitchers, and 7.5 ERA and 3 starts this year. So he's kind of looking to turn it around. And I think you look at the Pirates, sure, the record's not bad, 8-10, but not an offensive club. They've got some good starts, but I think today ends the good starts with Jose Quintana, a guy who 5 or 6 years ago, was putting up decent numbers, fringe all-star. Actually used to be in the Yankees organization before they actually released him, ended up doing pretty good for the White Sox for a couple of years. Anyhow, give me the Brewers here. Give me Christian Yelich actually doing something. 2 home runs today.
Wow.
As the Brewers, Hader in for the save. And we're going to say Brewers 7 and the Pirates 4.
Wow. All right, my next pick, dude. We're going to go to Philly tonight. Why not, dude? Philly's going to be they're being visited by the Colorado Rockies. Zach Wheeler is going to be on the mound for the Phillies. Not off to the phenomenal start that kind of, coming off the season he had last year. He actually doesn't even have a win yet. He's 0-3 on the season. His ERA is an 8.53, dude. He's been getting banged up. But I feel like, law of averages, he still very well could be a Cy Young candidate. And I figured, why not against the Colorado Rockies? I feel like this would be one of those nights where he goes, 7, 10 Ks, maybe 1 earned run. So give me the Phillies tonight. 2-1.
Yeah, lack of offense
Yeah.
still, though, for the Phillies.
Yeah, still.
but it'd be nice to get the win here. Get Wheeler back on track. For my second selection here, I'm just making sure I just got the number right. But anyway, I know it's chalk, and they're going for their 6th straight victory against the Reds this season. Give me the Padres. Nick Martinez, not great. Former Texas Ranger. Tyler Mahle, a guy who's pitched well in the past, but 6.88 ERA this season. Somehow Cincinnati minus 115. I don't get that. I guess
Yeah, what is that about?
Martinez, I don't think is going to go long, but it's like the Reds suck. That guy, their CEO, who's saying, "Where are you going to go?" Well, I think all the fans have left the ballpark. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5,000 people there today. A 12:30 game in Cincinnati in April, Tony. I mean, not an attractive game where you're going to get smashed by the Padres. I'm going to say Manny Machado, 3 home runs in a 10-2 victory for your San Diego Padres.
Yeah, the minus 115, dude. That's weird.
Trap. I'll still ride with it.
Oh boy, dude. All right, so my third and final pick. Wow, dude. I don't know. I feel like my picks with LA haven't been great.
The Angels?
Yeah, with the Angels, that is, yeah. I think Anthony Rendon's still kind of like,
dude, I don't know. Maybe the Mets need to bring him in. Would you take his contract on?
What's his contract?
He's making $30 million a year for like the next 6-7 years.
6-7 years? Really? Is that big?
Or at least 5. I mean, would you do it?
No, dude.
And you can unload Cano.
Robinson Cano, dude.
But this is the last year of his
Not
deal,
great.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my! But he's gonna. I know it. I just have a sense for these things. Guys when they're older, he's gonna get released by midseason.
You really think so?
If you watch,
I know it's a shame. He started out looking so good too, dude. I was like, oh,
I know,
yes.
dude. He used to be one of my favorite players, but steroids just destroyed him.
I know it's a shame. Anyway, where was I?
Your third and final.
My third and
you were
final.
fritzing with the Angels.
I know. And the Guardians, I feel like, had some pretty significant wins this season too. I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. All right, yeah. Give me the White Sox here. They're at home against Kansas City. Brad Keller on the mound. I feel like I've heard him getting kind of banged up a couple games. I'm looking at his stats here. Oh, he has a 2.5 ERA. 14 Ks, 5 walks, give up 11 hits though. Yeah, quite a bit of hits against Michael Kopech for the White Sox. I think he had one hell of I think 2 starts he had or 3 starts. But his ERA is below 1 right now, 15 Ks in the season.
Future Cy Young guy,
possibly. And I feel like, Kansas City has Perez, I suppose. I guess Benintendi's pretty good too, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Chicago, their offense is going to outshine Kansas City tonight. Yeah, give me 5-2 White Sox.
5-2. All right. I like it. I like Kopech. Obviously he came over with Moncada in the Chris Sale trade a few years back. But that being said, for my third and final pick, I'm going to Houston, the Battle of Texas.
Wow.
Give me the Houston Astros here. Justin Verlander.
The Houston Astros, he said. No.
The Verlander's looking pretty good to start after a long layoff here. I'm going to say Verlander 7 innings, 12 strikeouts, 1 run ball as Houston, virtue of Alex Bregman, 2 home runs, defeats the Rangers here. I'm going to say 6-2.
How has Verlander been doing?
189 velocity's back.
Wow.
40 years old. Animal. Yankees tried to get him, but he wanted to go back to Houston.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So, quick recap here. So, I am going with Brewers, Padres, Astros. Tony goes Orioles, Phillies, White Sox. May the best man win, but awful selection with the Orioles. I'm sorry. I mean, I know I'm asking for it tomorrow, but I'm just saying I think that was a atrocious. I know it's not even a word. Atrocious. That's what I meant. That'll be a soundbite.
Ferocious.
But that was ferocious, honestly. It really was. What are you thinking, Tony?
I'm writing down that time code so I get the ferocious.
Anyway. That's what we got for baseball. But I think it's time, Tony, to switch gears here to the world of the National Hockey League.
Alexander Ovechkin's got a breakaway on his own. Ovechkin scores. In they come. Travon, what a save by Vasilevsky. Are you kidding me?
McAvoy, Frederick, did you get the license plate number on that truck? McDavid, beautiful move.
You just knew that Connor McDavid was going to make a statement. What a goal.
Tony, you know I'm going to say it.
Georgiev.
Besides that, it's a Georgiev game. The Canadiens, dude, at home.
St. Louis, back at the Garden.
Poetic justice?
Yeah.
But are they sleeping, after losing to Carolina, who clinched, their division in virtue the day before over the Rangers? I mean, what? I mean, does this mean anything?
No, I don't know, dude. I mean, look, I don't know if you heard, but Panarin Kopp got hurt a couple games ago. Nothing serious, but precautionary. Didn't play, yesterday. So Panarin and Kopp, two pretty big, offensive tools for the Rangers.
No Kreider yesterday. No Kreider.
No Kreider.
So I mean,
on top of the no Kreider, you didn't have that presence in front of the net, and you saw it. The Rangers, I think it maybe was the combination of that, combination of a little bit of an overlook, combination of this game doesn't matter. We're not like,
right.
I don't know. I think their mentality wasn't there because they played some good. I mean, dude, they trailed the entire game. They never led. They were always behind. Anytime they scored to type the game, Canadians answered. And actually, I caught the third period of this game last night. And it's not that Georgiev was making mistakes or anything. It's just that the Rangers couldn't put together consistently good shifts of hockey last night. They had some bright spots for sure. I mean, they scored 3 times, some pretty good goals too. Like they had good pushes, right? But they didn't have good consistent shifts for the whole game. So that kind of let the Canadiens, play their type of hockey. And their coach, St. Louis, obviously facing an entirely different looking New York Rangers from when he was on the team, but he still knows how to play hockey. He's extremely strategic. He's a smart coach. I could only imagine how well he kind of brings the team together for what he's been doing for them since he kind of took over the team. They do have some talent with Petrie and everything, but yeah, dude, I think that kind of combination again, it looked like they were going to go into overtime. Because you saw Strome with a phenomenal shorthanded goal, and that was something that the Canadians, I think, they've given up like 12 shorthanded goals this season, second only to the New Jersey Devils. I wish Mike was here to hear that. But again, then at that point, you just saw some sloppy play in their own zone. They were trying to clear it, they couldn't. That some skater I think lost his edge. I forget who it was, but. To me, that kind of seems like they were, tired or dogging it or something, and then they kind of gave up that goal with 30 seconds left, and obviously, they couldn't do much with 30 seconds left in the third period. Canadians ended up winning it. I wouldn't look too much into this. I mean, some of your top players weren't playing here in this game, and it's again, it didn't really necessarily matter. Obviously, I would imagine that wasn't necessarily their attitude because it's a shit attitude to have going into any game. But yeah, I wouldn't look too much into it, dude.
I know Boomer Esiason.
What do you say?
What did he say? Nervous. He's nervous. He doesn't like, but I get it. You don't want to limp into the playoffs. I think they'll be fine though. Obviously not at full strength. That plays a big part of it. But let's get to the picks here, Tony. 3 apiece. What do you got? Give me something.
Wow. Getting right into it. All right. So tonight, dude, big slate here tonight. Geez, what do we have? 6, 7, 8, 9 games.
9, okay.
9 games, dude. I'm just looking at the games here. Bruins, maybe. I'm with the Bruins tonight. It's against Buffalo, dude. I feel like Buffalo. They've been on. I think they're on they are on a 4-game win streak. Kind of scoring pretty decisively. I think they scored like 5 goals in every one of those games. Let me just make sure here. They scored 5, 3, 5. Okay, yeah, scored 5 goals in their last 3 games, 4 goals against Philly. But I mean, look at the teams they're playing. Again, Islanders, obviously it's a good win, 5-3. But Devils, Philly, and then before that, took a hard L to St. Louis. I'm thinking they're gonna literally skate into a wall tonight at the TD Garden. Give me the Bruins fucking. Well, I should probably check the starting goal. I would imagine it's Swayman. Even if it is Swayman, I hope it is Swayman. Let's double check, Barnes.
With the old double check.
The old double check. If it's Swayman, he's going for his 4th shutout. Oh, it's Allmark. Allmark going to be going for his 1st shutout of the season tonight as the Bruins take this one 4-0.
Tony's favorite team, unequivocally. It's amazing though. It really is. You just can't get enough.
Well, now that you're making it a thing, I'm leaning into it.
You're playing into it. A team I've picked so many times, and who knows who's playing, who's not. It's just the talent gap. I think their 2nd and 3rd unit could be Ottawa's 1st. Give me the Panthers tonight in Ottawa. So the Florida boys making the Canadian trip to Ottawa, but it's going to be 7-1 Panthers as they look forward to being the number 1 seed in the NHL playoffs.
Wow. I feel like there's a lot of good teams playing bad teams tonight.
Yeah.
But good pick, dude, nonetheless. And I know I was just talking about the Devils being, the worst team in terms of giving up shorthanded goals. They're playing Carolina tonight in Carolina. Again, I think it's another one. Whereas you don't know who's playing, but regardless, whoever on Carolina could beat the Devils. The Devils, I think, lost 4 in a row. Yeah, dude, they lost 4 in a row, getting shot out to Detroit, losing to Ottawa just now. They lost to Carolina last week, 3-2. Giving Carolina again, same score, 3-2.
Wow. Obviously just the only risky thing there, just clinching the division, who's playing.
I know.
Not
Antti Ranta, likely, former Ranger. Really good, though, to be in net.
good old Antti.
Yeah.
All right. So you go with the Hurricanes. I am going to take the Calgary Flames in Minnesota. Calgary just had a great year this year, and I think they want to finish the regular season on a high note. Give me Calgary here, 3-2 over Minnesota in overtime.
Wow. In overtime.
Yep.
I'm just double checking here. Some daily face off. Ooh, Rittich probably for Nashville. I don't want to do that then. All right, Barnes. I'll go Edmonton.
Wow.
Being visited by the San Jose Sharks. Mike Smith in net. I want to give him a shutout tonight, honestly. Shutout for the shutout. I feel like, Barnes is kind of tough on him all season, I feel.
He's picked it up. I'll give it
He's definitely picked it up. 2 shots in the year. Going to go for his 3rd. It seems like he's 1st in the docket. And I feel like, Edmonton, obviously, they're going to be in the playoffs, which is great. But I feel like they don't want to be kind of, slacking going into the playoffs. They want to be kind of hitting their stride, especially with their season they've had. So I still think it's no holds bar against San Jose tonight. Give me Edmonton with the Mike Smith shutout.
Wow.
2-0.
Edmonton, I'm telling you, man, they could win a cup this year. It's crazy to say after all the drama this season. Speaking of a team that might win a cup, Colorado Avalanche against my Predators. Last time of the season, I'm doing it, Tony. Going against Nashville. Always, trouble in the air when we're talking about that. But, and obviously some guys rest and this and that. But I just think the Avalanche, you know what? They're like, enough with Nashville. We don't want to hear it. If we play them in the playoffs, we'll eat them for lunch. So give me Kadri for 2. Give me the Colorado 3-2 over your Nashville Predators.
Love to see it, dude.
I mean,
I really hope Nashville doesn't do you wrong again.
Oh man, imagine if it's if they play the Rangers in the playoffs. That would be something. It's Stanley Cup, right? They're West or no? Or they're East?
They're West. Nashville.
They're West. Yeah. Which is kind of weird. It doesn't seem like they're West.
Just need
Stanley Cup Finals, Predators. Would you be nervous? Honestly, would you be Eddie Moosh?
If you were to call any game, I want, dude, no way. I'd be very nervous.
Oh
I'm
my
just looking to see
because they're in the playoffs. Yeah.
Where am I?
The East. You're going West.
Predators bang.
But they're actually probably like the 7th seed or something, right?
95 points. Yeah, one. I don't know why it can't give me the whole.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, They're the 8th seed, I think. Right?
Let's see. I'm looking for the points here. 98.
Or are they
They're at
9th?
95, 96. Yeah, they are. They're the last seed.
Wow.
Squeaking in. Dude.
Unbelievable.
The Western Conference is crazy, dude.
Yeah. But what an exciting time in sports. You have 2 New York franchises, their futures being shaped with the draft tonight. You have the Rangers prepping for the playoffs.
Only second time, by the way, this season they have a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah. So
That's
obviously,
crazy,
but
dude.
get it out of the way
Yeah.
before the playoffs. And then just the fact that both New York baseball teams, have some of the best records in the entire major leagues. Expectations are high, and it's just a good feel. There's not much negativity when it comes to New York right now. I mean, I guess you could say with the Knicks, but obviously, and the Nets. But
that's
this is a baseball and hockey show.
Yeah.
It's not a basketball show.
mm-hmm.
No, obviously we talk basketball, but just
Right.
football, baseball, hockey. I know they're higher on your list.
Oh yeah, dude.
Utah Jazz going home tonight, or
No, coming back. Big comeback spot, dude.
but who's standing in their way? If you would play it, they're playing the Mavs.
Oh, it's right, dude. Oh,
The legend that is Luka Doncic. Tony. Closing them out in my bonus pick, Tony. Dallas 138, Utah 75.
it's not a sanctioned pick, boss.
Biggest blowout in Utah Jazz franchise history. Never again will we see neither Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert in the Utah Jazz uniform ever again.
What do you have against Utah Jazz, dude? Honestly,
You know what it is? When I see talent, but it doesn't get to where it should be. Almost a good analogy, different sport, different situation, but like what Edmonton was doing in the beginning of this year.
right?
It felt like a waste. And that's what the Utah Jazz, whether they want to hear it or not, have been a huge waste of time the last couple of years because it's like great regular season. Oh, they're one of the better teams in the league last year, number 1 seed. Oh, they could win the and you know what I mean? They're not even in the conversation, Tony. So it's just a waste of time. I mean, that's it. I mean, you know it, right? Or no?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
We'll see tonight, dude.
We'll see tonight, I guess. But yeah, I'm pumped for everything. Yankees, though, are going to crush the Orioles, Tony. So I know we could chalk
We'll
up the
see.
L for you in terms of picks.
Don't
for
get
that
cocky,
one.
dude.
I am. 2 straight sweeps, setting the tone, dude. I mean, really, it's crazy how quick it's all turned around. I know it can all go the other direction at any moment, but I have a lot of confidence this year, and I think you have just as much confidence in the Mets as I do in the Yankees, or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say maybe even more.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you're thinking without question,
World
or
Series.
as we would say unequivocally, NL East champions.
Yeah.
Even though
Yes.
even though you picked the Nationals, who
Yeah.
might be looking
eating
for a
ass
new
right now.
manager by midseason.
No, I do think so. The way they've been playing, I mean, dude, I think they're exceeding all expectations so far.
Yeah.
And again, just think about it. Like they hit the playoffs, and DeGrom's healthy.
If
He will be.
not,
he will
when.
be, dude.
If
I think he's going to start throwing and rehabbing now. I think because the MRI,
Clean.
clean.
right.
Which honestly, like I feel like it's the same singing song dance as last season, where he's having issues, but like everything looks clean, and it's like, what are we doing?
Tony, I mean, I wish you luck there. And by the way, Scherzer looked great the other night. We didn't even mention
Scherzer
that.
is an absolute
Was
animal,
it 7 innings,
bro.
10 Ks? Like,
Yes.
that's kind of a standard
Classic.
start
Yeah,
in terms of
dude.
a dominant start. You kind of see those numbers a lot.
And every time when he just licks his hand before the pitch, you know it, dude.
yeah. I just want to see Girardi like kind of make a search him for
Check him for
tag.
spy tag. Oh
would be
no,
great.
no,
That'd be
no, that would not be great.
But yeah, hey, we'll see what the Mets can do this weekend at home against the Philadelphia Phillies. I hope he can get them a ring. Do you think she means DeGrom? Okay.
Definitely, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
My mom's a big DeGrom fan.
I hope he can get them a NL championship ring, but the rematch, Tony, of the Subway Series.
All right, what if the Yankees are in the World Series? It's Mets, anyone else?
Tony, you could answer that question for me. Other than a select teams, you know what I'm going to say.
What?
I can't do it
Why?
unless it's
Like
Boston,
Boston.
or Houston. That's it. Nope, not even Toronto. I mean, I don't really the Rays. Why? You know what I mean? It's like,
Why are you rooting for them?
dude, I just because you know what pisses me off, and I think you would get pissed off by this. Doesn't matter what sport it is. Like, because obviously there's multiple teams in multiple sports for New York, but when someone like that's not as big of a fan as us just goes, oh well, it's New York, like, and then they say they're rooting for them when they haven't rooted for them all season just because they're in position and their team not. That's a bunch of shit. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah, but you wouldn't root for the Mets.
Would you root for the Yankees?
I mean, honestly, probably.
No.
on who the other team
I
is.
told you, dude. It's like this just goes way back. I don't know. I always just laughed at Mets fans. It's just how it's been. I mean, and it's like, but just in terms of, I wish you the best of luck, Tony. You know
It's
what
so
I mean?
messed up, dude.
You're tight, dude. You're over here taking the Orioles. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
My mom says to the nail salon, say hello to Lily.
Hello,
Lily. That must be the nail stylist or the manicurist.
Well, all I know is
I can't believe you, Barnes, honestly. Zach Wilson's going to have the worst season in history of anything.
if the Yankees win the World Series, does it really matter?
They're not going to win the World Series either, dude.
How do you know that?
Because I know.
The Mets aren't going to win the World Series. How about that?
How do you know that?
We could go back and forth forever.
I can't believe you, dude.
I mean, you know the answer.
I'm a little offended.
I wouldn't expect you to root for the Yankees in the World Series. I really wouldn't. I don't think deep down, because I know the mentality of a Mets fan. You're not going to be happy to see the Yankees win the World Series. Absolutely not.
Well, no, but I mean, again, against other teams. Well, I guess really, honestly, if it'd be cool to see the it'd be cool if like the Braves won it again. I guess if the Mets weren't going to be in it.
So you would go Braves over Yankees, Phillies over Yankees, Nationals over Yankees, or no?
Maybe probably not the Phillies or the Nats.
Yeah. All right.
The Braves for the story. That's cool.
The history. Yeah.
But maybe I wouldn't because they got rid of Freddie Freeman. Yeah, I probably wouldn't honestly do the Braves either then.
But see,
Darno, I don't
the thing
think
is,
so.
you're getting mad at me for something that you're doing exactly the same yourself.
Honestly, dude, if the Yankees were in the World Series, I would root for them. I really would. I probably wouldn't root to your face, but I'd be like, you know what? If I saw Rizzo win, that's cool.
I appreciate it, Tony. And I told you, I mean, I want you to have the best season you can. It's just, I have my priorities. That's all.
Whatever, dude.
Wow. Well, I could tell he's hurt. But honestly, that aside, Tony, I think it was a great show today. No, we had our mock drafts. Baseball's heating up.
Yeah,
we didn't have to talk basketball too much. I mean, I know you were happy about that.
Yeah, sure, dude.
But of course, we appreciate everybody tuning in and to continue to comment, like, and subscribe.
Also, stay tuned at noon. Screen Time episode. Best parody movies.
Best.
Right up Barnes' alley. Loves all the foolishness and nonsense.
I'm all over that. I'm going to watch it unequivocally probably 7 times later.
Oh, my God.
So pumped. So everyone definitely check that out. But also check out the old archives on the YouTube page. Tony dressed up in a variety of costumes, a variety of roles, asking trivia questions and whatnot. You will get a ton of laughs, as well as on the golf course, on the basketball court.
Yeah.
At a minor league baseball game. I mean, there is just so much. I mean, I'm talking days of just video to watch. So definitely check that out. And then get some merch, downtimetv.com. But everybody enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.